Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Loyal Sons podcast. It's your boy, George Brisbane. I'm in here with my boys, Aaron Duncan, Stephen Frederick, and the always entertaining and Denzel Johnson.
Peace. What's up, everybody?
Yeah. Hope everybody's out here doing well during this tough times. Hope you're still practicing, social distancing and washing your hands, staying healthy, staying clean, because I understand, with the protests and everything going on, which is very important. Thank you to everybody that's supporting the protests and doing your thing. But it's still a global pandemic. Health comes first. We can't do anything if everybody's in the box, if everybody's sick, healing over. So make sure you're out here staying healthy and doing your thing. But we got a good show for everybody this week. Really good show. It's a debate that I think that, will be pretty interesting because we talk about it a lot. And I just think, with the NBA season starting back, I think, that's where we're going to shift our focus and talk a little NBA, a little basketball with everything going on. So, Aaron, get us going on what we're going to chat about today.
So we've been having a lot of little side debates about different players in the league. So I figured why not do a little thing we're going to call Start, Bench, Cut. So we have 4 players from each position in the league, and we pretty much going to debate who we would start, who we would bench, and then also 2 players who we would cut. So we all kind of got together and got a list of names. We'll start with centers. So we got Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, Rudy Gobert, and Karl Anthony Towns. So out of those names, we got Embiid, Jokic, Gobert, and Towns. Who should start? I think Karl Anthony Towns should start.
I agree with you.
I think Cat's overrated.
What?
I think Jokic.
I think Cat's overrated.
Listen,
I think Jokic.
I'm surprised at you, Steve, and I'm surprised at you too, George. Listen. Okay, the numbers are there. He's a great shooter. We understand. I've seen some games when it was down to the wire. You need a big bucket. He traveled. He threw the ball over the backboard. He showed just how awkward.
He doesn't show up.
A foreign said it could be.
He doesn't show up.
Jokic. He's a center.
Player, man.
He's a center.
He's goofy. He ain't the most graceful player.
Outside
of Shaquille O'Neal, you should not be running any last-minute plays through your center.
Exactly.
He's NBA.
You can run through Embiid and Karl Anthony Towns.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
What has Cat done? Cat is overrated.
Cat is overrated.
Cat can shoot from downtown. He can post up in the paint. He can get you rebounds, and he can get you blocks.
Jokic is a better shooter from downtown.
Man,
No, I don't know about that. I don't know about better. He can do it too.
Yes, he is.
Cat disappear, man. Cat disappear way too easy. He get punked out. He don't be getting physical. He let people punk him out, man. No.
Yeah.
None of the players we listed are consistent.
Right.
None of the players we listed are consistent.
None of them are, but I feel like Jokic is the most consistent one. And Embiid can't stay on the floor. And Gobert, I mean, he's pretty good, solid, but defensively, that's his best asset. Outside of that, I mean, I can't really.
So would you start Gobert? Because he's probably the most consistent out of all of them at what he does best.
I'm not gonna lie.
I wouldn't start
player.
What I would probably, if I was building a team, depending on what everybody else looked like, I'm not gonna lie, I would probably go with Gobert because I don't need him to be any offensive.
Do nothing else.
Do nothing
right.
offensive. I just need you to get rebounds and block shots.
And block.
So to be honest,
that's it.
like I don't want to put out too much of the rest of the list, but like if I'm a GM building a team, as far as just a defensive standpoint, I'd go with Gobert and Jokic because Embiid and Cat, they're point guards.
Jokic can't play defense. He's too slow. He can't move. He can't move.
He can't play defense.
He clogged the middle. He clogged the middle a little bit.
He can clog that. He can do that, but
he get the body going a little bit.
He can't play nobody.
The name we forgot is DeAndre Jordan, but I don't even know if he start. Does he even start for his own team?
He don't even start. He's so overrated now. He had his time.
Yeah. He's not overrated. He's just done. He just passed his prime. Like Jordan.
Right.
He don't have Chris Paul. He don't have anybody that's gonna set him up anymore. Now he got to get garbage buckets, and he can't do that all the time.
Yeah.
Chris Paul was giving him 10 points a game.
Lob City days are done.
Giving them at least anywhere from 4 to 5 lobs a game when he just alley-oop.
Yeah, so that's it. So I mean, we got to come to some type of consensus here.
All right. Let's get.
Sounds like Gobert would start.
Gobert, maybe.
I'm not disappointed, but you know what? The issue is, we're going with centers first, so it's like we don't know the dynamics of the rest of the team, but we're gonna go with the defender over the scorer.
But
so it kind of shakes it up a little.
I feel like with everybody else that we're gonna debate, you wouldn't need a center that would have to score.
Right.
In today's NBA, positions 4 through 5 can score. I mean 4 through 1 can score. So you don't need a 5 that's dominant that puts up points anymore in this NBA. So I feel comfortable going with a Gobert. If I was a general manager,
I'm not disappointed with that. And you know what?
Yeah.
Whose take was that? Whose take was that?
That might be the only one. That might be the only one.
That'd be the only one that you're gonna have this whole conversation.
So who would come off the bench between Embiid, Karl Anthony Towns, and Jokic? I think
Jokic.
I gotta go with Embiid, man.
I gotta go with Cat, man.
Well, that's
damn, that mean Jokic then. Damn,
Jokic is my least favorite out of all 4 picks.
Me too.
Why y'all hating on Jokic? Denver is a good basketball team. And
I've seen him
legit.
My only issue is what I saw in the clutch. He looked like he was in middle school. Some of my old players
they had a 2 seed.
Have more control than he did.
They had a 2 seed last year, right?
Yeah.
In the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
He completely disappeared.
It's a young team.
We haven't seen Karl Anthony Towns enough in the playoffs, and I mean that's partially his fault. Embiid showed up in the playoffs. Embiid showed up in the playoffs.
Listen, hold tight. Man. This guy pump fake, took 2 steps, said, "Oh shit, I traveled." They didn't call it. Dribble, step back, traveled again, and then threw up an air ball. That's it.
Man, all NBA players have some bonehead plays, man.
We talking about Jokic or James Harden?
I'm talking about
Jokic.
I'm talking about Jokic.
You talking about Jokic?
Oh, I thought we were talking about James Harden. My bad.
I mean, either way, it's already he already got 2 votes anyway, so he
right.
Well, no, I'm not gonna lie.
He's on the bench then.
I probably go with either I go with Embiid. I'm not gonna lie. I go.
Oh, come on! Now you go switch up.
So that means Embiid is off the bench.
I like Embiid. He's just not. He doesn't stay healthy, man. That's my biggest issue with Embiid.
He does stay healthy. He's just not. He doesn't take it serious enough right now. He's been healthy the past few years. Besides the minor injuries that everybody has, he's just.
No, man.
He don't have that dog yet.
Ill, and then he get like this random sickness recently in the playoffs.
Oh yeah. That's the playoffs. It was like towards the past season they got cut short. Him and Simmons was out for a little while.
Man,
that's right. They both was out. That's right.
But you also got to look at
his ass be on the bench.
But you also got to look at what he does with who he's playing with. He basically got his point guard in the lane with him at all times. So he don't have the space. So he got to go out there and shoot threes because he don't have the space to do what he need to do. Because Ben Simmons right there messing everything up.
Because Ben Simmons refused to play outside.
To even shoot a three. He won't even shoot a three.
Try to shoot the ball.
Right at this point, you can shoot an air ball. Just shoot it. Nobody cares. Shoot it.
Like, that's ridiculous.
So are we going with Embiid? So now we have 2 votes for Embiid off the bench?
So, yeah. Gobert to start, Embiid off the bench.
That works. Okay.
And then Jokic, then Cat.
Well, they both cut. It don't matter who was cut first.
Well, no. If Embiid get hurt like we know he can, the first person I'm calling is Jokic.
All right, this one should be interesting. Power forward. We got Giannis, Pascal Siakam, Jason Tatum, who I had to argue with Denzel, who is a power forward. He did not believe that. And
I checked the stats. It says small forward, power forward.
2K say power forward.
I believe he's more of a 3. I believe he's more of a 3.
Actually, he said it. He was on a podcast with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, and they was asking about how he came into his position. He said he thinks his skills fit better at power forward.
Well,
So
that's
he
because
actually said he was a power forward.
Boston plays positionless basketball.
That's
So,
true.
and
On any other team, he would be a small forward on
any
any
other
other
team,
team.
he'd be a 3, but on his team, he is listed at the 4 position.
Because
But
they have Gordon Hayward, Brown, Jaylen Brown, and Kimba. So that puts him at the 4.
And Jalen can't play the 4, so Jalen has to play the 3.
Yeah.
And then when Marcus Smart comes in, he has to play the 2, and Kemba plays and Kemba's the point guard. To be honest, at certain times, he's the 5.
Yeah.
He's the biggest person
out there shaking people and shooting threes.
Yeah, he's the biggest person on the floor for them sometimes. And sometimes he is.
He's pretty tall. He's 6'8". He's 6'8".
That's what makes them. That's what makes them tricky because they, like you said, they play positionless basketball. So you can't key in, even if you put somebody bigger on him to make him guard on defense. When they get the ball on offense, he gonna go to work. You can't guard that. Regular power forward cannot guard him.
Yeah.
So out of those 4, we got Giannis, Siakam, Tatum, and AD. Who should start?
Anthony Davis.
I say Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis.
I thought I was gonna have to go to work on this one. Steve.
I say AD. I like AD.
Okay, all right. Unanimous. I think we know who's gonna come off the bench, but
I mean
Giannis.
What is it?
I'm going Tatum off the bench.
What is it?
To
be honest,
Giannis.
It's kind of tough. Like I hate that Giannis and Tatum are in the same category.
Yeah.
Because right now, Giannis is Shaq, but a couple inches shorter. When Shaq was like, he's just dominant. He's dominant in the paint.
Oh no! Whoa!
Yes,
whoa.
Giannis.
I know. You did not just say Giannis is Shaq.
Giannis is the
as far as dominance, I can see the correlation as far as dominance.
In today's NBA, how Shaq was dominant against, like I think about it. When Shaq was in the NBA, he was dominant, but players were bigger. Players have slimmed down, have become more lean. And in today's NBA, how Giannis plays basketball and how he attacks the basket, nobody has attacked the basket the way Giannis does since Shaquille O'Neal. And
that's also
the only thing
that Giannis can do.
I'm not saying he is Shaq. I'm just saying how dominant he is.
Dominant, okay.
How dominant he is in the post. Nobody can stop him in the post for his position.
Athleticism there.
And his athleticism is crazy.
Who can we get ahead to?
That's it. If you're talking about a better overall around basketball player, AD's better than him because AD can shoot, AD can post up, AD can pass. So that's why AD's starting. So like we don't even have to get into the debate about why AD's starting. But what my argument for Jason Tatum potentially coming off the bench is that Tatum can shoot. Yes. Tatum can shoot from the 3. Tatum has a mid-range game. Tatum can attack the basket. He can post up. He's not the best post-upper, but he can post up, and he can get to the lane. He can't get to the lane at a Giannis level, but what he can do,
but he can still do it.
He can shoot way better than Giannis. His mid-range game is better than Giannis.
So when we've seen Giannis disappear in the playoffs. I haven't seen Tatum disappear aside from regular season when Kyrie they were trying to figure that out. But I haven't seen Tatum disappear in the playoffs. If anything, he played big. He dunked on Goat James.
If you have Davis starting, so that's the shooter, the post up, the rebounds, and all that. Then,
but we're not basing it off that though.
But I'm saying off
that's
the bench.
Better.
It's okay to have a.
He's a better overall overall player
because you don't need a shooter now. You just need someone to attack the basket.
Right. So you don't need. To me, Jason Tatum is a poor man's AD. You know, so you don't need 2 of the same players. You know, you need somebody that could a different style. Like, let somebody come off the bench.
Him a poor man's AD. That's kind of harsh, Steve. Damn.
That was disrespectful. Disrespectful.
I mean, I'm not disrespecting him, but I mean, come on. I mean, he just his game is almost like AD's. I mean, why would you have the same type player come off the bench when you get somebody that could, give you a spark of energy, a little physicality? I mean, something different.
It's nice to get on the same on the bench.
The same player come out, especially
we're not gonna mention Pascal Siakam.
Nah,
Pascal, he good, but
he's not there yet.
He got to get cut.
Out of this group, he has to get cut. It's a dub. It's a dub.
He was just the best overall, the best power forwards left. Because
But you know
Blake
what?
Griffin
Out
overrated.
of all the players that we named, he the only one that got a
They
ring.
got the ring for real.
He the only one that got a
really the only
ring.
one.
Well,
And I'm not gonna take away. I'm not gonna take away from what he did during that series. He definitely earned that ring. You know, shout out to him. But
80 on his way to his first ring. So I ain't worried about that.
I agree wholeheartedly.
I don't know.
Hey, I'll drink to that.
Hey,
I don't know about that.
Let's go Clippers.
I don't know.
Look at you. You don't even have a team. You done denounced your team and now you talking about let's go Clippers.
I told you the only way I would consider being a Lakers fan is if they got Damian Lillard. That's the only way.
And I told you not welcome.
You got to start off in South Bay, wherever that's at.
I still buy the jersey.
You gotta be a South Bay Lakers fan first, and with the jersey with the big Wish logo on it, not the small Wish logo. Big Wish logo. You gotta wear that one. With Giannis
I wish I was a Laker.
With Giannis' little brother play on that team. You gotta get his jersey.
Yeah, you get that one.
You get the other Antetokounmpo brother. You get his jersey.
I didn't even buy the Antetokounmpo jersey off the Knicks, so I'm definitely not buying that one.
I forgot he played for them.
But I heard it was their other brother. They got 3 of them.
They got three of them.
One of them plays with Giannis.
Yeah, that's the.
Yeah.
Well, he's on the team. He's on the team.
He's the one that used to be on the Knicks.
Yeah.
I think he's the older brother, isn't he?
Yeah, he's old. He's older. He's the oldest.
Yeah, he's been on the Knicks for a while, but he's been in like D League and all that.
So we have AD starting. That was unanimous.
Yes.
There's a debate between Tatum and Giannis.
Giannis, man.
Off the bench.
Giannis.
You know what? I can give it to Giannis simply because he's an MVP.
MVP. Come on, man.
About to be 2-time MVP.
Yeah, probably about to be 2-time because they don't want to give it to Go James.
Oh, y'all gonna cut an MVP off? Y'all gonna cut the MVP? Come on.
Right.
So I mean, I can go with Giannis.
Okay, that works.
All right. So we got what? Small forwards.
Yeah, small forwards. We have LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant, and Jimmy Butler.
KD,
and Jimmy Butler.
I know who ain't making the cut. We already know who ain't making the cut.
Oh, Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, Jimmy gone. Hey, I love Jimmy's passion. I love it. I love to watch him play, but he ain't making this cut.
Yeah, Jimmy's out.
Jimmy's out. It's between KD and LeBron.
No, it's not.
Yes,
to start.
Yes, it is.
To start.
Yes, it is.
To start.
Yeah, it's between those two.
I thought you meant the cut. I was going to say.
Oh no,
I got confused too.
I'm not that disrespectful. Shout out, they're both goats in their own world.
All right, let's just say to start, I'm just going to take LeBron James.
I don't think I need to mention who I would take, but I would take LeBron. James.
Everybody on this podcast knows for the longest I was not a LeBron James fan or supporter. But
nobody here was except me.
I respected his game.
I've
always respected his game.
Let me allow me the opportunity to break down some stats here. Let's talk about them head to head in the finals here. KD has the advantage in the finals right now.
Hold on. Before you go there, are you not going to acknowledge who KD played with in the finals? You're not going to acknowledge that at all.
How does KD have the edge in the finals?
You're not going to acknowledge that at all. You're not going to acknowledge that at all.
Are we not going to acknowledge the Heat versus Oklahoma City?
Okay, so you had 3 Hall of Famers.
To be honest,
they were not playing on that level then.
They were. They made it to the finals.
They were legit.
They made it to the finals.
They were established.
Still young.
They overachieved.
No.
They overachieved that year.
They made it to the finals. They were playing at the top level. They were playing at the top level.
They overachieved that year. They did.
They did. They really did.
Because the Spurs were really supposed to go, but they stepped up. They beat the Spurs. They took it.
So even with the KD and LeBron matchups with Cavs Warriors, You can look at the stats. You can go to the stats. You might want to go to shot for shot because that's the only way KD will win. If you go for stats,
right.
he don't win. He don't win the
talking about
stats.
the game winners, the clutch shots at the end from almost half court.
No, it went almost half court. It was a regular three. It was a regular three.
I'm going with KD. I'm going with
Go James
right now.
KD too.
I'm going with KD right now.
How many rings KD got?
KD got
we ain't
two.
talking about it. KD got two.
LeBron got 3.
How many Bron got?
LeBron got 3. That
But
ain't
we
nothing to be
also-
happy about.
Last time I checked, 3 is more than 2.
But we
3 out
are
of what,
also
9?
talking about right
3
now.
out of 5. How many? 3 out of 8.
Hey. Don't matter. We're not talking about that.
But
Don't matter.
Who is the better player right now, KD or LeBron? I'm not talking about
LeBron James.
LeBron in
LeBron
his
James.
prime or
LeBron James.
KD
No,
right now.
that's the
I
thing,
think-
Steve. He's still in his prime.
No, he is not, man. LeBron is not in his prime now. Come on, Larry.
KD's on one.
He almost averaged a triple double.
He's
Steve,
not in his prime though no more.
Steve.
His game has evolved.
I'm
His
enjoying
game has
this. For the
evolved.
record, I am enjoying this.
Steve.
I love it.
Steve, Kevin Durant is on one leg right now. We don't know what the fuck Kevin Durant gonna look like after an Achilles injury.
All right. That's true. Take away the injury. I'm taking KD over LeBron right now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not talking about.
Nah.
Before the
give
injury,
me-
listen. Before the injury, with
Yeah.
KD on that team, they're unbeatable and they beat the Raptors.
Now, if you give me LeBron maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, then that's a
His
different argument.
His stats are equivalent now to what they were 4 years ago.
But also, he's gotten older. His game has had to evolve. So he had
And
to do different
He's done
things.
it though.
So,
But
He's done it.
I'm not taking nothing away from him. I just don't feel he's in his basketball prime anymore.
So
like
the
at year
fact-
17.
the fact that his game has evolved, would you not want somebody on the floor who can still
He
shoot
can
threes,
give me that. but
attack the basket? KD can't attack the basket. I don't give a shit what nobody says.
KD can attack the basket.
Oh.
when
Not
he-
like Ron.
Not like the
Not like
Bron.
Bron.
He's not LeBron. He's not
LeBron.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's LeBron.
But he can do it his own way.
LeBron is a better
KD
distributor. LeBron is the better
What?
distributor of basketball. KD can't run no offense. I mean, let's be real. All right, he
What?
might.
Yes, he can. If he
Can't run
really
no
wanted to.
No, they run pin downs and screens for KD to get him open, and he shoot the shot. He don't run the offense.
You know,
Yeah,
right?
Draymond ran the offense more than KD.
Y'all ain't see KD at Texas.
We ain't talking about Texas.
I'm just saying, y'all say he can't run offense.
Steve,
I'm
that's
just
college.
saying.
We talking college basketball now. We
Y'all
talking
said,
college
I'm not-
basketball now. We really talking.
I'm just trying to prove a point that the point that y'all saying KD cannot run offense. I'm not
I
talking
didn't-
about.
I'm not saying he can't. He didn't in Golden State. He didn't have to. Their offense, they didn't even need a point guard. Draymond ran the play most of the time.
And I'm not taking away from LeBron. I'm not disrespecting him at all. But I'm just saying right now, LeBron is in year 17 now. Come on now, y'all saying he ain't slowing down, but y'all got.
Who's the best player in the league right now?
The best
right
player
now,
in the
who-
league right now, I guess.
Giannis.
No, I don't know. I
I'd
don't
say
know about that.
Giannis. I'd say
I don't know about
Giannis.
that.
Nah.
I mean, I guess I had to give him the best player in the league right now because he's playing. But if KD was healthy, then I don't know. We have a different argument.
KD been healthy for the longest. KD got one MVP award.
For KD, for all of KD's years in the league,
He has one. That's good
beside-
that he has.
what?
I said it's good that he has one because in this
Why
time
doesn't he
frame,
have more?
They jumped all over Steph Curry. Steph Curry does not deserve 2 MVPs. He should
does.
have one.
He does.
I don't
He should
know.
have one.
Who should have the other one? Harden?
Harden should have. Harden should be a 2-time MVP right now.
So which one?
And his peers even said that.
Steph's first
I mean,
MVP?
yeah, they did.
Steph's first MVP or second MVP should be Harden.
The first one.
I can give you that maybe.
Yeah. The
I
second one was
think-
unanimous. It was pretty. It was what it was.
I think if we talking about somebody who's gonna go down, as most people say, although I say he's number one, most people are gonna say he's the second best player ever to play the game. I feel like there's not a starting lineup that,
I said I can agree
Oh,
with that.
okay. I don't feel like there's a starting lineup that you can take him out of.
You can't.
I mean,
take
but
him out starting
it's
lineup.
debatable. It's debatable if y'all.
It is debatable. It's debatable.
LeBron in his prime versus LeBron right now. That's the only thing I'm saying.
That's
I'm
what
saying, like, this is rough.
I'm talking about KD right now before the injury, the sniper versus
All right.
LeBron.
Easy
in
money
his
sniper.
prime. Easy money sniper. I'm taking him over LeBron.
How do we resolve this? It's 2-2.
I think when it's times like this, you got to go to rings.
This is what we got to do. This is what we're going to do. Everybody take a break. Fill a drink back up. We're going to take our quick break like we normally do. Take our break. Come back with your best arguments. When we come back for the second half of the show, then we will finalize who is going to start off the bench. All right? All right. So
there we go.
Let's do it. All right.
We'll take a quick break from the Loyal Sons podcast. We'll be right back with who's going to start at the 3 position. Is it going to be KD, Scope James? Is it going to be – well, it's not Jimmy Butler. We know that. And the other person we haven't talked about yet, Kawhi Leonard. What are we going to do? All right. So,
defending NBA champ.
He got to get out of here.
He's a 2-time champ. He's a 2-time. It's pretty interesting.
He got the same amount of rings as KD.
Hey, but we also debate.
But he has a season MVP over Kawhi. Kawhi don't have a season MVP.
Kawhi not gonna get one. He takes too many games off.
Yep.
Right. True.
Kawhi don't play in the regular season. You don't believe?
Nah, they pay him for the playoffs.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting, but we got to break it down. It's all good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Boy, I got a little bit more Keela. I think Iron got some more vino. Got a little heated in the first half of the Loyal Sons podcast. You know, Denzel taking another shot. So we're back in it. We're going to jump right back where we left off. The small forward position, how we feel, who should get the nod to start. It was tied up, to LeBron James, to Kevin Durant, but we're gonna make this decision right now on who should start.
I didn't think I was gonna have to work this hard for this one, man. I thought it would be a little battle, but I didn't know it was gonna be this much pushback. What y'all got? What can y'all say to vouch for KD starting over Goat James or LeBron James?
Steve, I'm gonna let you go ahead and start that one, man.
My whole argument was we saw what KD did to LeBron when he came in. Regardless of, he was on the Warriors. I give you that point. He was on the Warriors. He's on a good team.
Hold on. I'm gonna interject real quick. Let me interject.
I have some stats.
Let me interject, Steve. This is helping your argument, of course.
Go ahead.
He wasn't just on the Warriors. Was the Warriors. Let's be real.
No, hell no. He was not the Warriors, bro. They won without him.
MVP.
They won without him.
Nobody was on that team, Iron. Nobody was on that team. The team that lost, Warriors, it was just LeBron James and Matthew Dellavedova. Of course they're going to Matthew Dellavedova.
You're helping me. You're helping me.
You said one without him. The one time that they beat Goat James without him, the next best player was Matthew Dellavedova. So it makes sense to why they won that. The year later, they lost. They're beatable.
So let's look at 2017, the first time KD won. KD averaged 28 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. Great stat line. LeBron James averaged 34 points, 8 rebounds, 10 assists. Steph Curry averaged 26 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, damn near triple-double. So KD not only had help, he had somebody almost average a triple-double with almost 30 points on his team. And I ain't even talking about Clay and Draymond, what they did. I'm only mentioning Steph. So the man had that much help. The only thing he had to do was shoot and score. That's it. Bron had to do everything.
Who took the big shots?
Steph took them too. Steph took them too.
Who sealed the game?
Steph took them too.
Who sealed the game?
Who sealed the series?
He sealed the series. He did. But who helped get him there? Who helped get him there?
I'm going to end this who had more help debate right now.
Oh, is it?
It's not an argument. Ain't no debate.
Kevin Durant was playing with another 2-time MVP. You can argue whether
he should have got him. But the fact that he was in the conversation and got that many votes, even if he didn't, if you want to argue whether James Harden should have got his first one, no matter what, he still finished.
Let me say this. LeBron James had Golden State number.
MVP, won an MVP voting.
Before KD got the Golden State, LeBron had their number.
They were not unbeatable anymore. It don't matter what you do in the regular season. 73 wins. We understand that.
We've seen Bron and KD go up against each other when the teams are legitimately even. We've seen them go up against each other when the teams are even. And Bron won what, 4-2? Now, when you put KD on the team that won, now granted he wasn't on the team, but when you put him on a team that won 73 wins, which is an NBA record, of course he's going to come out on top in the finals.
But that 73 win team lost in the finals.
Doesn't matter. That don't matter. That don't matter. That don't matter.
You can't tell me. You can't say that KD just joined a bunch of nobody. They won. You know how hard it is to win 73 out of 82 basketball games?
He did not join. He didn't join a bunch of nobodies. But y'all got to admit, before KD got there, LeBron made them look like a regular team.
He didn't. They took him to 7 games.
Bro,
they were up 3-1. They were up 3-1.
And that's what I'm saying. You were up 3-1 and you lose. You shouldn't have lost that series.
Right.
Hey, they were okay. I'll wait.
If Steph is as great as he is, if Thompson is supposed to be this spark shooter, I know Draymond missed one game. Let's be real. Draymond is not the team. One game should not have cost them the series. It really shouldn't.
I agree with that part. I agree with that part.
Okay, so the fact that they lost in 7, no matter if they won 73, that shows that they were not as great as a team as we believe them to be. And James, like everybody else said, them out. So we needed somebody else to come in there and shut it out. And
they didn't get somebody else. They got the second best player in the league. They were already 2 minutes from winning another fight. They were legitimately 2 minutes away from winning another finals. They didn't get it done. They went and got not another sharpshooter. No, they didn't just go get they didn't go get Danny Green. They gonna get JJ Redick. They went and got the second best player in the league.
Think about it. They replaced Harrison Barnes with the second best player currently at that time in basketball.
But
all to be one man.
But
one team, though. It shouldn't be just one man.
Right. And KD was the X factor. When KD got there,
hell of an X factor.
They went to there. They went to
see, look, I'm gonna raise my camera. They were already up here. They went up here.
But you know what?
I think championships and MVPs have to break this tie. That's the only thing you can use.
And you know what?
Let's go. Unfortunately, LeBron James leads him in both categories.
George, so you guys started off. George, who you picked for this one?
Starting? LeBron James.
Starting. Okay. Aaron, who you picked for this one?
Go James.
Steve, who you picked for this one?
I'm still going with KD. I mean,
based upon what George brought
Denzel would vote for Kawhi anyway.
I mean, if we go based on, I mean, it still would have been a 50-50 tie, even if Denzel would have said KD, but I guess we would have to give it to LeBron based off MVPs and championships, you know?
Yep. And if that's what it breaks down to, four-time MVP, 3-time champion, I guess we're going to have to go ahead and give it to LeBron James.
But that just goes to show you how good the league is now. If you have this debate back then in the 90s, who's the best small forward in the league, after Scottie Pippen, I don't think you're going to have anybody else that's going to get this much of a debate.
I would say Charles Barkley, but he's a power forward.
He's a power forward.
Okay, he was just short. Charles was just small. Not small, but he was short.
He was short. Yeah, he was short. He was 6'6" at power forward. Dominating.
Yeah, but I don't think this is going to be the last heated one we have, but I am glad that Gold James came out on top. Let's move on to the shooting guard.
I'm sorry.
My fault. Mm-hmm. Best player, I think we already know.
Kevin Durant.
I'm going with Kawhi.
Oh no! What? Why? Come on.
Here's my. Hey, I would like to say this because I want to go on record saying this. Kawhi, I have nothing against Kawhi, but he doesn't play in the regular season. And let's be honest, he won a championship with the Spurs. As much credit as I want to give him for that, you got to think about the Spurs were. We haven't had our dynasty debate. We got to get back to that. We got to get back to our dynasty.
Yeah, we do. We do.
We got to get back to the dynasty debate. Popovich, even though he was over the hill, Tim Duncan, over the hill. I mean, that was still a good, solid team around Kawhi.
Manu, Tony, they got 3 Hall of Famers right there.
But let's be real. If Kevin Durant's Achilles tendon was not an issue, Kawhi wouldn't have been a 2-time champion. Let's just be honest.
No,
He wouldn't. We can agree to that.
he probably would have ended. He's probably would have still won the Clippers, but he wouldn't be a 2-time champion.
He wouldn't be a 2-time
But
champion.
what they accomplished to even get there was amazing.
Yeah,
You know,
was still amazing.
The game-winning shot, shutting down Giannis. Like, let's give him some credit. Let's give him some credit.
You know why I'm not giving him credit? Because when LeBron James was in the East for all those years, people said the only reason he made it to the finals was because the East was weak. Now that he's gone, people want to say Giannis is dominant, Kawhi is dominant. It's the same teams in the East. It's the same teams.
But they're more experienced now. And the Raptors are playing a lot better.
Because they're not getting their ass kicked by LeBron. Because LeBron not kicking their ass no more.
I'm just upset that COVID happened because I would have loved everybody to witness LeBron James breeze through the fucking Western Conference because he was like the Lakers were
Breeze.
Bro, the Lakers were rolling, bro.
It was only going to be one competition. There's only one competition in the West.
Every game would have been a 4. Hey, every series would have been 4 or 5 games. So we got
No.
Who? Denver? They would have beat Denver easily. Jokic is the best player.
It was gonna be one team that was at least gonna push y'all.
They was gonna get
It's gonna
be first round. If Portland would have made it to the AC, yes, but when it stopped, Memphis was in the AC, and I think New Orleans was right there too. Portland was a few numbers down. They probably wouldn't even gonna make it to the AC.
And you think LeBron James worried about Ja Morant, Alonzo Ball? Come on, get the hell out of here.
I ain't talking about those young teams. I'm talking about the West is deep now, regardless.
Yo, listen,
Dallas maybe. Houston, I'm not sold on Houston. That's not going to work in the playoffs.
But they were on a hell of a run this year. They were on a hell of a run.
Were they the 1 seed? Were they the 1 seed?
They weren't. They had a new squad. They had to figure it out. They had to. They really. I
think people forget the Lakers' last like 15 games before COVID happened. The Lakers were on a fucking roll.
They were.
Hey, that Clippers game showed how the playoffs was about to start for them. AD went off against the Clippers. Brian guarded Kawhi almost the whole game. Kawhi tried to guard LeBron, could not do it in the post, was getting bodied. Don't matter.
All right, that was one game though. We're talking about a 7-game series. But I don't see it being that easy for them.
The Clippers were taking every game versus the Lakers like it was so serious. They took that game serious. And the Lakers they played the Lakers once the Lakers were finally fit because they played the Lakers their first game when they didn't have anything figured out. And then they played them on Christmas when everything
they didn't have anything figured out either.
Right. They didn't.
They're a brand new team. The Clippers. They didn't have it figured out either.
They were not
No. That's not true. That's not true. The Clippers kept together their core. They had Kawhi and PG. Everybody else had been there.
That changes the whole dynamic.
Right.
PG was out. PG was out anyway. So really, it was just Kawhi.
The Lakers brought in a whole new team. A whole new team.
Everybody was new except Rondo and Brian.
Yeah, Rondo
and JaVale McGee.
And a new coach. You got to think about it. The Clippers had the same continuity as a coach. Everybody knew what Doc Rivers wanted to run. The only person that had to learn the offense was Kawhi Leonard.
What I'm gonna say about this is it was one game. I'm not sold that they're gonna just dominate the series against the Clippers. That to me is a 6-7 game series right there.
No. I didn't say they would dominate. I said that. Well, actually, George, they would dominate until they got to the finals of the Western
Until they
Conference.
got to the Western Conference.
I don't think they
it was
will.
gonna be a breeze.
If they matched up with Dallas, I can see that going 5 or 6 if they would have matched up with Dallas, but I don't see anybody else pushing them to 5 or 6. I just don't see it happening.
I think if Portland would have got the AC, I think Portland could have at least surprised them.
With Houston, I feel like you can do a zone or something. You can do something to keep Russ out the paint, and we've all seen what Harden do in the playoffs. Nothing.
I'm not gonna continue to. I'm not gonna continue.
Don't come for the best player in the NBA, the best shooter in the NBA.
Yeah.
It's not.
I'm not gonna continue to argue with these Lakers.
The best step back in the NBA.
Let's jump into 2 guards.
That's Kimba. Kimba.
No, we still got shooting guards.
Let's jump into 2 guards.
Let's go ahead and do 2 guards.
2 guards. We got James Harden, Paul George, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal. I'm going
PG starting.
I'm going Bradley Beal starting.
I got Bradley Beal on the bench.
What was the list again? I'm sorry.
James Harden,
I got James Harden.
Paul George, Devin Booker, who's underrated, and Bradley Beal, who's very underrated.
Booker very
hold on. We're talking, for this team, is this team in the regular season or this team in the playoffs?
See, that's what matters because Paul George cannot stay healthy. If it ain't his shoulder, it's his knee. He always hurt.
This is a team all around team, just all around team. We're not even gonna break it down to postseason.
Yeah.
All right, because parts of me wants to say James Harden to start, but we've seen James Harden in the playoffs.
Terrible.
But parts of me also wants to say Devin Booker, but I've never seen Devin Booker in the playoffs, but he plays in the
But listen. Season, he averages 22.3. This is his career, and he's averaged 20-plus points in the last 4 years. He's been so consistent.
That's true.
At such a very young age.
I didn't
look up. I do too. I didn't look up Bradley Beal's career stats, but this past year he averaged 30 points, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Averaging 30 is that's crazy in itself. I mean, I know Harden probably did too, but Harden probably took 30 more shots than him a game.
But Bill is taking all the shots because there's nobody else there.
Yeah, John Wall is hurt.
That's true.
I'm going with PG, man. I'm going with PG just because of the scoring ability and defensive ability. Two-way, he the best two-way player, and he can pretty much get any shot that all these other players can get. But he can also lock down defense. That's
Harden no defense.
No, Harden ain't playing no defense at all. I can live with PG starting because I mean, if you look at his whole career, even when he was in Indiana, he was a force. So, and then he was an MVP candidate last year.
Exactly. I'm surprised we have him at a 2 guard though.
That's what
because of what he plays now with the Clippers. Kawhi's at the 3.
Yeah,
he playing at the 2.
He's playing the 2.
So and then they start.
Because he's always been a small forward, especially like with Indiana.
Yeah.
But that's cool. I understand, the system that he plays in now. So
well, he lucky we listened to him at 2 guard. If we had him at a 3, he wouldn't even want to sniff the list.
Right. The fact that he's like 6'6", so that's a force, man. At shooting guard, Lord.
They got a team. The Clippers got a team.
This is pretty tough because my pick, obviously, Booker is the outside looking in, but he's a hell of a player.
Booker is. If Booker has the stage that Paul George has and the cast, if you put Devin Booker in Klay Thompson's team, I think he does the same, if not better, because he can go off the dribble too.
Yeah, he can create his own shot. That's a big difference from Klay.
We didn't even put Klay on the list.
Yeah, because he's not a top shooting guard in the league. He's not.
We didn't even put Klay on.
He's a shooter.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's too one dynamic. He
even though
multiple pieces.
I know what I just said, but would you put Devin Booker over Klay? I know what I just said.
Yeah, but
you would put Devin Booker over Klay?
But you know what? Klay Klay is a two-way player as well. We're not looking at that.
I'll say this. From somebody who has watched Klay in the finals, obviously the last few years. Whenever Golden State is getting their ass kicked and Steph can't hit, KD can't hit, Draymond obviously can't hit, It's always Klay Thompson who's gonna hit tough shots to keep them in the game, and then everybody else gets their rhythm and they get it going. It's always Klay Thompson to keep them in the game.
Yeah.
We might have to write him in. We might have to write him in.
That's disrespectful. We dead disrespecting him.
Yeah, I've always said that Steph. I always felt that Steph was a better shooter than Klay, but Klay was a better tough shot maker than Steph. In the NBA, that can carry you a long way. Like Steph,
and we completely forgot about the defense as well.
Yeah, and his defense. Like Steph can shoot when he's wide open. He can shoot. I'm not saying Steph can't shoot a hand in his face, but like if somebody's guarding Steph, he'll collapse. You could be guarding Klay, and Klay can do like what Kobe Bryant, because Kobe Bryant is regarded as one of the best tough shot makers in NBA history. Klay can push you off you. You can still be on him, rise up, and still make that shot.
Because he's still 6'7", no matter what you do. He's still 6'7".
Still a big guy. And like I think we did a disservice of not having Klay on this list.
Yeah.
I'm perplexed to make my vote because Bradley Beal and Devin Booker are two players that I want to see the Lakers make a trade for or sign a free agency to play with AD post LeBron James, because I mean LeBron can't play forever.
I could see Lillard and Booker being there. That'd be a hell of a combination.
I think like Beal or Booker playing with AD keep the Lakers very relevant for a very long time.
You know, I'm gonna need some team to root for. So if that happens.
So I'll admit it. I put James Harden on this list. That was my recommendation. But
I put Bill.
Harden doesn't play defense well enough for me.
I tried to put Harden on this list.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
I'm gonna have to go with Steve, one of the best two-way players in the NBA, and Paul George. That's probably what I have to go with my starting vote, because you know you're gonna get it on both ends of the floor. He's not a great three-point shooter, which is important in today's NBA, but he's good enough.
He knock it down.
He still knock it down. If he's open, he can knock the three down.
He's open, he knock it down. Based off the list, Klay's on the list, so we did this stuff. Maybe if we have time at the end, maybe we can do like a bench, a sixth man, and maybe we can get Klay in there at that point. Going off of the four players that's on the list, I'm gonna go with PG to start, and then I'm gonna go with Devin Booker to come off the bench, because like I'm just sold. Like I think he's as good as a Harden or a Bradley Beal. He's just in a market that's like the only time we talk about the Phoenix Suns is if they're relevant. When they're not relevant, you don't really hear about them. Like Bradley Beal is going to get some notoriety because he's in a major market. He's in Washington, D.C. He's in the capital of the United States, so you're going to get some buzz about him. And he plays with John Wall, which John Wall's one of the biggest disappointments in the NBA. Because he can't stay. But, I mean, when he's on the court, John Wall
is with that flex.
He can't stay on the floor. He's always hurt.
That's all he's known for. That's all he's known for.
I'm going to go with Devin Booker because he's healthy, can play defense, plays ball, to come up 100% start. And our play time, hopefully he comes from the ACL tear and still to be as dominant as he has been. But, you know, he is injured right now, so based off of who we have right here, Paul George to start, Devin Booker to come off the bench.
I'm going to take my personal bias out of this. I'm going to do that because I would have Harden started. But, you know, the fact that we are looking at players that bring different things to the table, I might have to take Harden off the list. I mean, for me, I can't put him on it now. So I'm going to look at – I'm good with bringing Bradley Beal on, you know. Because on the real, like what he's doing now, he's really showing teams this is what I'm capable of doing. If I ever get the opportunity to get out of DC,
trade for me, please.
What I can bring to the table. So I'm looking at Bradley Beal, and I'm gonna go with Booker off the bench as well.
Well, I already said PG is my starter.
So that's two, yeah.
But I'm gonna go with Bradley Beal actually coming off the bench for me. I like him. I like Booker a lot, but I just think I like Bradley Beal a little bit better.
And he's only 23.
Yeah.
Booker's only 22, 23.
Yeah, Booker young too.
That's what I'm talking about. Booker's only 23 years old.
Yeah,
Bradley
I
think Bradley Beal's only like 25.
24.
Yeah, he's young too.
Yeah, he's still young.
Young.
PG and Harden the ones that's a little up there, even though they're not old either. But
yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, I just think I like Bradley Beal's game just slightly better than Booker. They both, like I said, it's kind of hard to choose really because it's like a 1A, 1B type of thing because they both really, really, really good players. But I think I like the edge towards Bradley Beal coming off the bench for me.
Here's my edge.
I'm gonna go.
Booker's dropped 70 points in the game.
Irrelevant 70 points in the game. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, they did lose that game, but he did drop it. But they did.
I don't give a shit. if it was irrelevant or not.
They had Isaiah Thomas guarding him.
Oh, don't do that. That was your guy.
Right.
That was
MVP. That was your MVP.
Yeah,
He
MVP.
was supposed to be MVP that year, but he can't guard nobody. It's a wrap.
I go with PG, man, just because I feel like the majority did. But I go with Bill off the bench, man. He averaged 30 this year. He did take the majority of shots on the team, but it's not like he was taking bad shots. It was still within the offense, so I go with PG and Bill. So it sounds like that.
So it sounds like PG gets to start.
But Booker
And
gets
we got a
hold
tie.
on, Booker and Bill.
We got a tie. We got a tie for the bench. We got to figure out who we're gonna cut. So James
Hold
Harden's
on,
gone.
let me see.
James
Yeah,
Harden.
Harden gone.
I'm just gonna let everybody know. The Loyal Sons podcast has cut an MVP. We have cut an MVP. From
Hey, he don't play no defense.
He don't play
no defense. Yeah, I play defense to make my team.
But you know what?
Like that little
how do we
Nike
break down
commercial
this
with
now?
Kobe and LeBron. Like, you don't play no defense.
Question: Has Bradley Beal made an All-Star team?
I believe he has.
He got snubbed this year. He didn't make it this past year.
He got snubbed this year, and Booker got it because somebody got hurt, but he made it this year. So that's his first time.
You get the check. You get the same check everybody else get.
Bill's been in the playoffs. Booker's never been in the playoffs.
Then that might be the trade-off right there. You know, just
But
off the fact.
Bill's in the Eastern Conference.
This is true, and we haven't I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like I have some stats on Booker. I really don't have too many stats on Bill. So that was a real.
Bill's in the Eastern Conference. Bill's in his conference and has even though he doesn't have, you gotta think about it. Beal has the edge in coaching. Beal has the edge in when healthy. John Wall, and who else was on that? Rudy Gobert was on that team at some time. Was it Rudy Gobert? Not Rudy Gobert.
Nah, they never had.
Not Rudy Gobert.
He's always been on the Jazz.
What's the tall, lanky white guy? He used to be in Orlando.
I forgot his name. Oh God, I forgot his name. I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
The ball head.
The ball head guy.
Oh, Martin.
Gortat. There's been some attempts to play good basketball in Washington D.C. I won't say that.
They had the truth.
They worked out.
Paul Pierce.
Yeah, Paul Pierce, whatever the hell that was. But Booker's been in Phoenix by himself. Other than DeAndre Ayton, they have done terrible at drafting people to put around Devin Booker.
Except for Cam Johnson.
They have somebody else.
Cam Johnson's trash.
Somebody else.
No.
You sick.
Give him time. Give him time.
Right.
He plays on Phoenix. He used to be on Washington.
Oh, Kelly Oubre. He tore his ACL.
He did tear his ACL this year. That's right.
Yeah. So, I think we all agree that Beal is in a better situation than Booker.
Yeah. But does that give him the upper hand? Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. He could strip fall and make the playoffs with
Put
Washington.
it this way: if you swap the two, does the same results happen? I say yes.
Yeah, I say yes.
Probably so.
So the fact that if you can swap the two doesn't really, for me, doesn't.
That still don't give nobody an edge.
Doesn't give anybody an edge. But like, if you swap the two, he'll drop 70-something in this game. I don't think Beal.
I mean,
the most he had was 50.
If you give if you give an NBA player that can shoot the green light like that, they gonna score 70 points. Like
and they coach said that, like, yo, just go out there and shoot.
Right. I mean, you
don't have nobody else.
Right.
You don't score 70 points just, having a good game. You got to have the green light all game to shoot. So if Bradley Beal had the green light to shoot like that, I believe he could score 70.
To break the tie, to get us to going,
Right.
as much as it hurts, I'll say, because I don't think you lose in the situation of being general manager. Bradley Beal, like I said, I like Bradley Beal to begin with anyway, so I can say that just to break the tie, Bradley Beal can come off the bench. Booker's the first person cut, and James Harden-Ass was cut a long time ago.
Yeah.
All right.
That worked.
Let's move on to point guard. We got Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, Stephen Curry, and Damian Lillard.
Who we cutting first? That's what we need to get out the way.
Okay, we're cutting Kyrie. We're cutting
No,
Kyrie.
whoa, no.
Get the fuck out of here. Get
No.
out of here.
Take the personal bias out.
I don't want to take it.
Take the personal bias out.
Yeah.
You're never here. Hurt. And when you do get, all right, you got a ring because of LeBron James. And I'm not gonna lie, he did knock down that big time shot. That was a big time shot.
Listen. This is why I start Kyrie. Head to head, him and Steph in the finals. The first time they played in the finals, Kyrie got hurt. Game 1, didn't play again. Steph won. When they went head to head the next year, Kyrie won. Then they went and got KD. Of course, we know what happened. So when they went head to head, regular teams, no KD. Notice I said regular team, not the Monstars. When they went head to head with no KD, Kyrie got the best of them. And not only that, they made sure that they switched Steph onto Kyrie for the last play of the game, so Kyrie could kill Steph because they knew it was gonna happen.
We still ain't say who gonna cut though.
I think Dame getting cut. I think Dame getting cut first.
Unfortunately, but you know what? He's a very underrated player, man.
Is he?
He's averaging.
He's not.
I don't think he's underrated.
He's just loyal to the wrong city.
He's averaged 25 plus the last 8 years.
Tell him to stop signing extensions. Tell him to stop signing extensions and go to a market where he can win, and he won't be underrated. He went to the Western Conference Finals. He's not underrated. They just don't. They didn't have a good. They will never have a good enough team. It's just not going to happen.
He's got a great shoe contract with Adidas. People know who he is. He hits big shots. He's just committed, which I'm not knocking him for. He's committed to Portland. I mean, that's great and all, but bro, you're never gonna win shit in Portland.
Right?
Nobody
they
wants
already
to come to
reached their
Portland.
peak.
Yeah, nobody.
Their peak was reaching the Western Conference Finals. Now that they reached that, they need to go ahead and break that team up because they're not gonna win the championship. They're not gonna win the championship.
Hey, him and McCollum are like the same player. Him and McCollum are like the same player, except Dame's a little bit better. Like they were like 3 games out of the 8th seed in the West, and Melo been balling. It's just they don't have enough. Like, even if they get in the playoffs, you get the Lakers in the first round.
They out of there. They might give them a couple games.
They'll win about 2.
That's at least 6.
In Portland. They'll win a game in Portland. Like I'll give them that.
But when they went up against the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals, wasn't KD already out?
He was. No, he got hurt. He got hurt in that series, right?
But I mean, the last few games, you pretty much just had the regular Warriors team, and they didn't even take advantage of it. And Dame disappeared. Exactly. People just don't talk about it.
He was off. He was off in that.
He disappeared. They was depending on Seth Curry to keep them in games.
Right.
So I mean, he got to get cut, man. We seen him on the biggest stage. I mean, he's hit probably the most clutch shot ever.
Two clutch shots.
As far as non-final shots, that shot he definitely hit over Paul George. But I mean, he got to get cut from this one. Yeah. I got to start Kyrie, man. I mean, I don't like him right now personally, but I got to start Kyrie.
I'm going. Unfortunately, with the 2-time MVP, 3-time champion, Steph Curry is starting.
I think I got to start Kyrie too, just because of his overall game. Like, I think he's probably the best point guard in the league when he's fully healthy. Fully healthy.
When is that?
It's rare. It's rare.
The Warrior, I mean, his Cavs days, he wasn't hurt that much. Besides, before Bron got there, he was hurt a little bit. But all those trips to the finals, he wasn't really hurt.
Yeah.
And when he matched up with Steph, he got the edge the majority of those times.
We got George. George, it's up to you. Davidson in the house. What's up?
If George picked anybody other than Steph, it don't matter. Kyrie's starting.
Right.
I'm just gonna let y'all know. George did not put Steph on this list, and he had the first pick. He didn't put Steph.
I even picked Steph and got denied, obviously.
I'm going to say, because it was the way we put this together, if I was a general manager, who I would go out and sign. I like Luka Doncic. He's only been in the league 1 year, but I like Luka. I like his game. With what we've assembled so far, to be honest, out of the 4 names on this list, I feel like he fits best because he can distribute the ball. He can play one-on-one if he has to. He can attack the basket and stuff like that. And I think he's an overall team player. But looking at the list,
he ain't got big enough sample size.
His sample size is small. His sample size is very small. I'm going to have to go with Steph Curry because Steph he actually plays the games. Kyrie is like, you never know when Kyrie gonna be hurt or when Kyrie feel like he doesn't want to play basketball.
Right, exactly. Sheesh. And with that being said, that it is a tie. And the stats earn favor of Steph
heavily. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to get Steph the edge just based off what we've been doing.
Kyrie thinks the world is flat. First of all, let's start out with that.
He went to Duke. Ty Lawson would never say that.
Kyrie played on the basketball team and was enrolled in a few classes. Doesn't mean he's a Duke.
That's it. He did not go to no class.
He didn't go to Duke.
He did not go to Duke.
That's like Ben Simmons did not go to LSU.
Nah.
Kyrie played basketball at Duke, but he did not go there.
Right.
He played basketball at Duke. He was not a student.
I gotta go with Steph.
So that automatically puts Steph as the starter.
Yeah.
That puts Kyrie off the bench then. I can live with that.
Right. Okay, all right. So that's a good pick.
Yeah.
So that means point guard Steph starting, Kyrie off the bench, 2 guard PG starting, Bradley Beal off the bench, small forward Goat James, LeBron James starting, easy money sniper Kevin Durant coming off the bench, power forward Anthony Davis starting, Giannis coming off the bench, and center Rudy Gobert starting, and Joel Embiid coming off the bench. I think
That's
not bad.
To me, man. Not bad. That's a monster. That's a monsters right there.
Yeah. I only had two people I really wanted to get in there, and I got them in there, so I'm good. I knew AD was gonna get in there regardless. I knew that.
Steve talked shit and said like I got C-listers on the squad. One of my C-listers made the starting lineup.
Who was that? Oh, Rudy Gobert.
Gobert.
Oh yeah. That only because he had nobody to go up against.
And that was only because we said we didn't need him for offense. If we needed offense, he was not going to be on the list.
Two-time defensive player.
Yeah.
And probably unfortunately, he's the reason why COVID spread in the NBA.
He is.
He is the reason.
Unfortunately.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think this was a great topic. It was a great discussion. It was very intriguing. So we're gonna run out right quick, and then I'm gonna come back and end it with a quote and a quick little recap. We're gonna talk a little bit about Kyrie Irving and his statement about the NBA coming back. We try to keep our episodes within a certain time frame, but there's a lot of things we want to discuss. So stick with us, and we'll be right back. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back to the Loyal Sons podcast. This has been fun, been a great night. Iron's drunk. I don't know if y'all knew this. Iron's drunk. And if y'all curious, those pills in the background, Denzel thinks, are steroids. So just in case if you were curious, if you were wondering, what's all that shit back?
Y'all know better. My people know better than that. They know how I would look if I was on steroids.
But let's wrap up. This week's episode. I think it was really good, great topic. We'll run back through, but we came up with our starting five and our bench players. So pretty much a 10-man roster of who we feel. We'll get more in touch. With the NBA. I mean, more in depth. With things that's going on in the NBA, because it looks like the NBA is going to be the first league to actually play post COVID-19. But Aaron, just run us back down what we came up with.
All right, at point guard, we came up with Stephen Curry starting, Kyrie Irving coming off the bench. Shooting guard, we had Paul George starting, Bradley Beal coming off the bench. Small forward, we had LeBron James starting, Kevin Durant coming off the bench. At power forward, Anthony Davis and Giannis coming off the bench. And center, Rudy Gobert with Joel Embiid coming off the bench. Not bad picks at all, man. Definitely good. We got the gold in there, in my opinion.
And it just shows you just how much talent is out there. Because think about how many players we didn't even name.
Yeah,
exactly.
We didn't name no Kemba, no Clay.
No Clay.
That's a lot of players we ain't named, man.
Mm-hmm.
No Russell
That
Westbrook.
shows you how much
Yeah,
talent
no Russ, MVP.
Which was definitely mind the fact that the man averaged 2 triple-double seasons back to back. It really was on my mind, but it's just how it plays out sometimes. Unfortunately, he doesn't get the robbed him too. We robbed him.
It's true. But I think it was overall a good list. Great debate. I'm happy.
Yeah.
With it. I don't see no issues with it. For the James Harden fans out there, y'all will be all right.
Man, don't play defense.
That's my only knock, but I respect how he plays his offense, though.
Mm-hmm.
The multiple step backs?
Yeah. Definitely a walk. Definitely a walk.
I wish I could grow his beard.
His beard or just a beard?
Yeah.
A beard, period.
I think one thing that's going to make the episode a little longer than most, one thing I think that the four of us all wanted to touch on was the recent statements and things done by Kyrie Irving, developing his own coalition, and just how we feel in the whole Black Lives Matter movement, everything that's going on, and his early statements, and then information that came out a couple of days later about some ulterior motives by Kyrie Irving that kind of made everything kind of make sense to me. I'm just like, why is he coming from this? Because he's like one of the board members for the Players Union, so he works very closely with Chris Paul, who we all know is the president for the Players Union. So it's not like Kyrie doesn't have a voice or a say in everything. I think we're all aware that the NBA is planning on coming back, soon in Disney World. So if Kyrie had an issue with it, he could have spoke up then, but he didn't, and he spoke up later. But how do we all feel about Kyrie and what his statements were, and the fact that he's trying to start his own league? Like the NBA hasn't been like the most supportive league out of all the 4 major sports leagues. How do we feel about that?
I feel like, man, Kyrie could have said something. He's the VP of the Players Association. So he's been on all the phone calls, all the meetings that they've had before they even settled on a plan to come back. Kyrie had the opportunity to voice his opinion. Kyrie even asked, since he's not going, which is a key point, he's not even going to play. He asked if he would be allowed to go to Orlando to support his team. He was told no, which is a key point. He was told no because it's just an unnecessary risk factor. So since he was told no, now he doesn't want anybody to play. My brother, you had so many opportunities to say you did not agree with what was going on before then. You even asked if you could go play. And now that it's a plan in place, you want to stop? Like you said, the NBA has been the most supportive league for all the players. They support everything that the players want to do as far as making a stance and showing what they support. And you want to boycott the NBA? Like it's like you want to be a black quarterback so bad. Like the NBA supports you. What are you boycotting? You're not in the NFL. So I don't get it. I feel like it shows negligence on his part because you wait to now. And it's kind of like you putting the pressure on other players who want to play to make it seem like, well, they don't care about what's going on. The other players have been stepping up. They've always stepped up. The players that want to play have always stepped up. LeBron James, Chris Paul, Dwayne Wade, when he was in the league, Carmelo Anthony, they've always stepped up. So you can't make it seem like they don't care now because you found your voice. So that's my opinion on it.
I feel you, Aaron. Good. Go.
Yeah, I agree with Aaron's point. As far as like if he felt that way, he should have said something. At the same time, I did read an article that said that a couple players kind of reached out to him and actually kind of voiced their opinions, and also which is the reason why he brought it up. So that makes me think like, okay, well, maybe it just wasn't totally his idea. He just had the power to actually go ahead and voice that. Maybe some other players was having concerns as well, and then they just, use him as the median. So I'm kind of conflicted as far as like, was it totally his idea or was it kind of players in the background gassing him up a little bit? But the whole thing about starting his own league, that was kind of way out of left field. I don't really know why he would say that right now, especially with everything going on. And if you don't really have a proper plan of action, you shouldn't even be talking about something like that, just off the cuff. Like if you want to do something like that, this takes years of planning and you need, investors and all this type of stuff before you should even bring that up. So I think that was way out of left field. So I don't really know what's going on with Kyrie as far as why he saying these things. So I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt with the whole not playing just because he is the VP of the Players Union and it could be coming from other players. So I mean, I'm gonna give him benefit of the doubt there, but that whole thing about starting their own league, that's kind of, I don't know. I ain't following him on that one, especially right now. So that's what I think.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Kyrie Irving, talented, no doubt. Let's try to go one full year with playing all 82 games before we speak on anything. You have a problem with the players coming back. You want to speak out on Black Lives Matter. Where were you in the time when 2016, this is nothing new. This is something that's been going on for some years now, like you guys have spoke on. So I understand and I appreciate you trying to speak out. But once again, this is the NBA. This is not the NFL. The NBA gives you the opportunity to speak out about these things. Why boycott? And you're talking about starting a new league. You don't even play in the NBA half the time. How are you going to play in a new league? I'm confused. So I feel as if regardless if players came to him or not, the league starting and them having this kind of bubble in Orlando, it is very risky. But at the same time, it's giving them the opportunity to get paid again. It's giving other entities opportunity to get paid again that probably have not been working. So if you're talking about looking out for the people, whatever the situation is, that boycotting is not the answer. Like Steve said, starting a league, you need investors. There's so much planning into that. That's not the answer as well, because the NBA is not the enemy. The NBA is just trying to get back into, to play basketball the best way they can. I appreciate that. I would think the players would appreciate that too. And I would think you would appreciate that because you're probably going to get paid and you're still not even playing once again. But that's just my two cents on it. I passed the baton to George.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna try to keep it brief. I'm kind of disappointed in the whole thing. I feel like Kyrie could have went about this whole thing a lot better. If there's players coming to you, voicing their concerns, because I get it as a health risk. There is a lot of concern. They felt like their voice, if maybe if Chris Paul wasn't, acknowledging their voice and as a VP, and hey, we have some concerns. Cool, make those voices heard. But for you to come out and say potentially starting your own league, and like Aaron's point, coming out and being so vocal once they told you can't come play, can't come just watch and be an observer, and then saying, well, it's a distraction. How is it a distraction? Like LeBron James, everybody that's been so vocal is going to be in this bubble, and guess what? They're going to have a camera and a microphone in their face every day in games. They're going to give them opportunity to speak out on these issues at post-game press conferences. Even more that they've been doing. Everybody's been doing a great job, but they've been doing things on their own social media platforms. But now it's like, hey, everybody can look. You don't know what the players can do once the focus is strictly on them. And the thing about it, I want to go back to, if everybody hasn't had a chance, go back and watch Dave Chappelle's special on everything that's going on, because Dave's been very good. And people asked, he said, Don Lemon asked, why hasn't he said anything? He said, I don't have to say anything. The streets are talking. The people are talking. We're talking. We're a young podcast with a growing following trying to get on things. We're talking. People are talking. We're in the streets. We're doing things we have to do. I don't have to rely on the NBA players to do everything for us. So the fact that they can get back to doing what they're employed to do, and which is play basketball games and entertain us, because like I said at the beginning of the podcast, we're still in the middle of a global pandemic, as well as trying to fight for justice reform. I would like to take a break to have a couple hours to watch some good basketball. So say what you want about me, but I'm not going to lie. Just because I take a few hours to watch the basketball of my favorite players and my favorite team is not going to distract me from what I know needs to happen to move us as a society and as people. And for you to think that people are that small-minded that just because basketball is that playing, that people are going to forget about this matter. No, the people have spoken. The people are beating the fucking streets, and the people are out here, and that's not going to stop. So Kyrie Irving, shame on you for taking it in a way that it didn't have to go to. If it was just you were saying, hey, the players are concerned because of health, because I get it. I'm not going to lie. If you're concerned for your health, I get it, 100%. If you don't want to play, don't play. But if you go down to Orlando and you're willing to play, the NBA is not going to stop anybody from saying anything about the movement. So why all this we need a new league stuff? This ain't the NFL where Jerry Jones and players and owners have been silent. No, owners have spoken up. This league literally made an owner leave because of some racist comments he made to a girlfriend about Magic Johnson, and they gave him the boot.
Kick him out quick.
They kicked him out with the quickness. He owned the team, and they told him, like, yo, you cannot come around anymore, and you have to sell your team. So the NBA is not the enemy, Kyrie. So for you to take something from there to do that is doing what I think some people want, is creating a distraction. I hate to say that we kind of bought into it because now we're talking about you instead of talking about the movement and what we need to do better. You're trying to create a divide. No, we need to stay strong and together as a unit. And so the people know we talked about it together. Like, just to be like, Juneteenth is June 19th. We're recording. Today's date is June 18th. You know, when you hear this podcast, most likely it will be after Juneteenth. But I feel as Black people, we need to do a better job of supporting each other. There's going to be people that's been, like Aaron said before, quote unquote, woke, that are going to downplay people that are now celebrating Juneteenth, which Denzel said he's just now becoming educated on. like even as Black people, we're still not all educated on all things, and we're trying to educate everybody as a society. We're trying to end racism. We're trying to end systemic racism. So I hope everybody has a good Juneteenth, and I don't want to hear, oh, everybody now celebrating Juneteenth. No, yeah, I'm celebrating it now because I'm more knowledgeable about it. I'm more aware about it. Yes, I'm going to celebrate. I don't give a damn how long you've been celebrating. Congrats. Clap to you.
Exactly, man. We as a people, man, the people that research our history, which I love, and I do it myself on a smaller level sometimes, but they feel like they're more elite as a Black person than everybody else. And instead of sharing knowledge that they may have gained or enlightening people, they feel like they're better as a Black person, and that only creates more of a divide. And you have situations like people saying, I've always done this or I've always done that. That's cool. That's great. I applaud you in that, but help bring somebody else along so we can all do it together.
Right. Exactly. Feel the same way, man.
So I want to thank
That's what's up.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. We're gonna jump into the ending quote, the tradition of what we do. I think it's been great. I believe my guy Steve.
Yeah.
Has
It's on me
tonight.
this week. Again, I want to say happy Juneteenth for everybody who will be listening and celebrating for maybe the first time, or for those who have been celebrating for a while. Just continue to celebrate our heritage and support us in the best way you can. So in light of that, I'm gonna keep it still with somebody from our culture, Black author James Baldwin. And the quote is, "For while the tale of how we suffer and how we are delighted and how we may triumph is never new, it always must be heard. There isn't any other tale to tell. It's the only light we've got in all this darkness." So I picked that quote. I just felt like, it's been a trend of what we've been kind of using quotes on lately. Just what's going on with, everything in the world today, and, what's going on with our culture, really. It's just, we've been telling the same story for a long time, and, it's time for a change now. So, it seemed like hope is the only thing that we've been kind of, living off for these past generations, so hopefully we can get a real change now this time around. And, if not, I'm sure we'll keep on telling our story like we always do and hoping for a change. But this time around, I hope that, with us telling our stories and everybody telling their stories to the world, that, we'll get a real impactful change this time around, and, hopefully see something better for the future generations. So that's that on the quote. I don't know if you guys want to add anything else. All our listeners out there, keep supporting us, leaving comments, leaving feedback, even suggestions on what y'all want to see on the show. Just to let us know we still growing, or still always a work in progress. So whatever y'all think we could do better, or suggestions, just let us know. And like I said, keep subscribing, sharing, and just keep doing what y'all do.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate the support.
Definitely.
100%.
Like I always say, critique the hell out of them. Don't say nothing about me.
Get them out of here.
But yeah, I want to thank everybody for listening, being in, sticking with us. Like I said, share, tell us, things we can do better. We don't care. Like we'll take criticism. We don't care. Like we welcome it. Except for Iron. Iron's not going to welcome it. If you talk about Iron, most likely you're going to get talked about on the next show. If you see.
That's probably true. That's probably true.
That's definitely true. Right.
But, keep tuning in with us, share with us. We're all about, empowerment and movement and making society better for all men. Denzel's gonna go take his steroids tonight. Steve and Iron, they're the two they're the two married men married with children guys on the show. So they gotta go back to their
Love and marriage.
Love and marriage duties. You know,
I'm about to go to
talking those
sleep.
cats.
I done drunk all that wine. I'm about to knock all the way out.
But yeah, thank everybody. Please subscribe to YouTube and add us to your podcast listens to Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We post weekly, and we want to keep it up. Like Steve said earlier, happy Juneteenth to everybody. And, you know, our Black listeners continue to help, you know, push this on and educate others. And if we have any white or any other ethnicity listeners, you know, you're welcome to give us any feedback and stuff like that. And I hope you're out there educating yourself on these issues as we push, you know, this Black Lives Matter movement. And keep it together. Like always, love y'all cats. Love y'all a little extra tonight because I'm a little tipsy. You know, I had a little bit.
Little sunshine.
Yeah,
more than one. It's all good.
all good, man. All love, man.
Oh yeah, love y'all too.
Yeah,
Peace.
Peace, man.
Easy.
Later.